Hi everyone. Sanjana, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sure. So we'll start. Some more people are joining in, but we can start for the day. So today the chat will be completely disabled. We will share a questionnaire form with you where you can ask your doubts so that it'll be easier for us to monitor the questions. Please use the form wisely. So I will be sharing that. I'm also sharing the WhatsApp channel link. For those of you who have not followed it, please do that. Just a minute. Okay, so I've shared the WhatsApp channel link on the chat. Please have a look and please follow this. We will be sharing all important links over here. I'm also sharing the questions form link. We will answer your questions. Please wait. Those who have raised your hands. Okay, I will be sharing that shortly. Hope everybody has filled form one of day one and day two form. I'll be sharing the links of everything, so you will, so those who missed it earlier can fill that. So let's start with the session. I'll share my screen to present the guidelines to remind you about that. Sanjana, please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, just a second. Sanjana, also please, meanwhile, admit everybody who is waiting. Still I'm sharing
Yeah,
my, then I'll look into it.
yeah, sure.
Okay, hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so just to give you an idea about the day three agenda, today we'll be talking about the six steps of the innovation hackathon process. We have been saying that, how many steps are there. Everybody has been saying that there are six steps. And today we'll dive deep into each of these steps. Sanjana ma'am will guide you through each of these. In the last two trainings, whatever tools we have learned, like ChatGPT, Copilot, Binge, Canva, all of this will be used to follow these steps and make an output. Okay. So just to remind you about some of the guidelines, I will be sharing all the form links today on the chat. You can access everything from there. Those who have questions, I will share the questionnaire form. You can click on that and fill your questions. So we will be monitoring that. We will give you time to ask your questions and answer your doubts as well after each step is covered, so that it can happen in a systematic manner. So over to Sanjana.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So today we'll be learning about the 6 steps of the hackathon that you'll all be taking part in. So like we saw in day one, the 6 steps, it's part of a funnel that you can see here. So even though it may seem chaotic at first, there will be more clarity as you move through these steps. And today I'll be explaining each step in detail so we can understand it better. And we'll also learn how we can use the tools that we have learned in the past 2 days uh, to complete each of these steps. Okay, so yeah. So the first step is problem identification. Just a minute. Yeah. So the first step is problem identification. And each of these steps will be having some sub-steps within it, and we'll be going through each of those in detail. Um, so I'll be mentioning the total time that you have to complete each of these steps and how much time you can spend on each of the sub-steps as well. So the first step has 6 sub-steps. So what you need to do first is you need to come up with a problem and something that you can solve, and we'll figure out how we can do that. So once the theme is announced on the day of the hackathon, you will be asked to list 10 relevant problems that are related to it. So there will be some ChatGPT prompts which are given that will help you list these problems. And you'll also be given some Google Sheet inputs, which will tell you how to list these problems. So once you get 10 relevant problems, you'll be asked to shortlist and choose the top 3 most relevant problems according to you. So, for example, if you have thought of problems related to air pollution, water pollution, and farming, then you'll have to think about how you can shortlist it and choose the best problem that you can solve. So again, you'll be given some ChatGPT prompts that will help you shortlist these problems based on certain parameters. Uh, so let's just look at an example before we proceed further. So here we have 2 examples. Uh, so the first example here shows that the problem they're trying to solve is enhancing Indian agriculture. So looking at this slide, I know that the solution that the student wants to present is to improve Indian agriculture. The second example here says managing resource depletion and waste generation. So this is the starting slide that all of you will be creating at the end of step one, and it will inform us what problem you're trying to solve. So once you kind of decide on what problem you're selecting, the next step is to validate it. And what I mean by that is that you need to prove that that problem is big enough and significant enough to be solved. So, for example, if you're thinking of a problem that only you face or only probably 10 or 20 people face, then it's not a big enough problem to solve. So, you would have to look at larger audiences and see how your problem can be solved to affect a large group of people. So to look at the problem size, you will have to collect some data, and that you will be doing using Bing Copilot. So we have already learned how you can find numbers and percentages using Copilot. So that is something you'll be doing in the first step. So once you know that the problem is big enough and significant enough to be solved, um, you you will be able to validate it, saying, for example, that I'm choosing this problem because 20 million people are facing it, or maybe 70% of the earth's population is facing this problem, hence I'm choosing it. After this, you will have to learn how to describe your problem. So you'll be given another ChatGPT prompt, which will help you to create a design brief that helps us understand what you're trying to say in fewer words. So, for example, here it says managing resource depletion and waste generation. This is a very simple statement that's helping me understand what the problem is. So there'll be a chat GPT prompt given to you, which will help you communicate what your problem is better. And the final sub step in the first step is to document this process using Canva. So the outcome of the first step will be a slide which looks something like this. So these are just two examples, but basically you'll be creating a problem statement and you would probably have some data points which are addressing it. Yeah, so this was the first step. I guess we could take a couple of questions.
Yes, so I'm looking at the. So, first of all, just to explain again, I have shared the WhatsApp channel link. Please follow that. I've also shared the day one, day two, day three form. I've also shared a form to write questions. So, please, those who are raising hands, please lower your hands and ask your questions in the form. I'm reading each and every question. So, some people asked when will we get the day three form. So I've already answered that you have already received the day three form and registration. Lot of students have asked that. Okay, so Manita, you can keep highlighting in green whatever is answered. Day two Google form is also shared. That's another question people asked. Ma'am, for you, can we use Copilot for these topics?
Yes, so like I mentioned, there's a step here called as problem size assessment, where we'll be looking at solid numbers or data to back up our problem. So that's when you'll be using Copilot.
Yeah. Some more questions are, do we have two different topics for both the days?
No, you'll be having the same topic. So since the hackathon is for 2 days, you'll be completing step 1, 2, and 3 on the first day, and step 4, 5, and 6 on the second day. The topic will be the same.
Are we allowed to get more than one laptop?
Uh, I guess that you'll have to talk to your teachers about. I'm not really sure.
Do we make three presentations in Canva?
No, so there's just one presentation per team. So if your team has 3 members, then all of you will come together and create one video.
Will the picture be there or should we search?
So you'll have to search for the picture. So we have already learned some tools like Bing Create or ChatGPT. So you can generate images using those tools. And if you have any doubts about what prompts you can use, then you will be we'll be giving you a toolkit on the day of the hackathon that lists all the prompts. So you'll be able to use those.
Okay. Many students have asked if you can repeat the first step and also if you would be showing them how to do the first step in detail.
Okay. So basically the first step is just to identify one single problem that you'll be tackling. So before you zero in on one problem, what we would like you to do is come up with 10 different problems which you think are relevant to the theme that will be announced on that day. So we don't want you to get fixated on just a single problem. You'll have to think outside the box and come up with at least 10 different problems. After that, you will be shortlisting that and trying to get only the top 3 problems which you think are the best. And then you will be trying to find data and whichever problem you think has the biggest impact, that's the problem you'll be choosing. And that's what you'll be putting on your first slide as well. So these are some example slides like I showed. Towards the end, I'll also be showing you a couple of completed videos. So you'll know how the steps all come together to form a single video. But right now, I'm just showing you the output of step 1.
Okay, some more questions to take, ma'am. Um, some people are saying they're not able to submit the second day form. Those who are saying that, please, please explain why you're not able to upload it. Day two recorded video link will be shared shortly. Day one recording video is there on the WhatsApp channel. I'll also put day two over there. Then, can we use other apps also? Yes, you can use other apps. Um,
But the final output should just be in Canva. You cannot make your video in anything else.
it's not compulsory to bring a mouse. If you have it, you can get it. If you don't have it, it's fine. Um, Outcome of design hackathon, we have mentioned the answers. I'll share the answers again for some of the questions. If you can see, there are hints given in the form. The hint itself is the answer. So please use that. Some students are asking, is it okay to have only two members, two team members?
That again, I guess you'll have to talk to your teachers about because I'm not really sure.
Okay. Couple of other questions. Should we create the 1 minute video in school? Yes, you will be creating that in school in the 2 days of your event. Can we use Clipchamp to make the video or only Canva?
Only Canva.
Can we use Filmora?
So you're supposed to use only Canva to create the video. You're free to use other AI tools if you know them, but the final video should just be in Canva.
Should we keep a name for our team?
So you'll all be given a team code, which I guess you can see here in the examples. So you should uh, just be known by that team code, and that's what you'll be entering in the video as well.
Yeah, so a lot of people are also asking about who will promote the video. So the video will be promoted by you only. We will guide you as to how you have to do that on the days of the event itself. That is on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Tuesday for respective schools. So don't worry about the promotion and the winning criteria. We will be explaining that in detail ahead.
Okay.
Will there be
Uh,
Wi-Fi that the school will know better? I'll check these questions. Um,
hmm.
Internet
Should
facility
we?
school also will be shared later. Yeah, ma'am, we can proceed with step two. I'll collate the
Yeah.
questions meanwhile.
Yeah. Okay. So just to recap, you will be finding a problem in step one, and you'll be trying to validate it. That is, see if it's a big enough problem to be solved. Okay. So step two is again a 100-minute process. So here, what you'll be doing is you'll be finding an insight. So what do I mean by insight? It's just a deeper understanding that you can have of the problem. And this is something that will help you find the solution as well. So let's see how we can do that. There are five sub-steps to this second step. The first one is to identify the stakeholders. So, stakeholders are basically the people who will be using it or people who will be facing that problem. So, for example, if I am doing, uh, if I'm trying to solve a problem related to agriculture, then my stakeholders will probably be farmers because they are the ones who are facing that problem. And if I'm trying to solve a problem that is related to diabetics, then my stakeholders or the user group will be the people who have diabetes. Okay, so that is what you'll be trying to identify here. And you'll be getting that by again using a couple of chat GPT prompts, which is something that we'll be sharing with you. The next step is to create user personas. So, a persona is a character that you create to understand the user group better. So, taking the same example of agriculture forward, since I am not a farmer, it would make more sense to talk to a farmer or talk to a person who's facing that problem so we can understand how to solve it better. So, to do that, we will be creating a persona of a farmer and we will be using Bing Create and ChatGPT to do that. So, the outcome of the second substep is you'll have a character who is facing that problem and you'll have an image to back that up. So, let me just show you an example. So, in the first case here, uh, the problem that was identified was how we can improve agriculture. So, since the stakeholder for that was a farmer, we have put an image of a farmer here and we have kind of written a little bit about it. So, this is the outcome of the second step. And another example is the second one here, which says, can one man's trash be another man's treasure? So, here the student has created two user personas or two characters who are affected by this problem or who are the users. So here it says Jia Sharma, who is a 20-year-old student, and Ram Singh, who's 35 years old. So these are two very different characters, and here they've tried to understand how each of these characters are being affected by the problem. So this is what you're also supposed to do. You will be getting chat GPT prompts, which will help you understand this process better. So once you create the user persona, you'll have to find some common needs. That is, what do the users require for this problem to be solved? So, for example, here, for the farmer, they would require technology to be incorporated in farming to help them, or they would require a sustainable way of farming which can help them in this way. So, that is the needs that have been identified here. And that is something that you'll have to think about. And you'll again be getting a couple of prompts, and you'll be able to brainstorm within your group itself to understand what common needs could be found. The last step, so once you find the common needs, you'll have to shortlist those to understand which needs you can actually resolve. And the last step would be to document it. And here we have to find a strong insight which will help us to solve this problem. So, for example, here in the first example, the insight was that farmers in India walk around 14,000 steps per day. So, that was something that was very interesting. And this was thought about. And what if these steps were put to good use to create a sustainable source of electricity? So this was the insight that the first example shows. And you'll have to think about some point which will help you to solve the problem better. So I hope the second step was clear and we could take a couple more questions. Priyanshi ma'am?
Yes, sorry, I was speaking on mute. Yes, just give me a moment. I am having a look at the questions. Yeah,
Okay.
some of the questions that students are asking if they need to get devices. Yes, you need to get device on both days because you need that to do this to participate in the event. And if you don't have a device, school will not be able to provide that. So please get your laptops. I don't think there's a restriction on how many devices you can get for this event. So you can get I if you have a tablet, you can get that, but a laptop is preferable. If you don't have a laptop, you can get a tablet. Some of you are asking about that. You should create the 1 minute video in school. Yes. Team name and all of those details will be told to you tomorrow. Charging point for the laptop. Yes, that will be. there in the school premises. Those who are facing issues with the form, please mention which file you're not able to attach. Then, should we use the apps which are to be paid for creating a 1 minute video?
No, so all the apps that we have taught you about are all free.
Apps.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have to give proof for anything? Not sure what that question means. Please explain. Um, those who are, yes, you will get a certificate after you complete the event, certificate of participation. Is it compulsory to use the template given by DQ Labs for the presentation?
Yes. Your video won't be viewed otherwise, and you might be disqualified. So please stick to the template and don't change anything in it except for the team code.
Do we have to do the 1 minute test video now?
You don't have to do the test right now. You can listen to what we are saying here, and you could probably test out later once the session is over.
Day two form, some people are asking for answers. Please mention which question you're having difficulty in, if in any of the forms. Some people are asking confirmation for the videos they have sent earlier. Don't worry about the submissions that you have done. What is the first theme our team will do after the theme is announced? All of the things that you need to do tomorrow and day after will be explained in the event itself. Don't worry about that. YouTube link is already shared in the WhatsApp group for day one. Day two, I will be sharing shortly. It is being processed. Is it okay if it is more than 1 minute?
No, please try to keep it 1 minute or slightly under 1 minute. Don't extend it more than that.
Okay, I think that's it for now, ma'am. I'll look at more questions.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So moving ahead, step 3 is ideation. So when you're designing something, it's very important to not get very attached to the first idea that you have. So we want you to generate as many ideas as possible before you evaluate them and see which you think is the best solution that you can think of. So step 3 is ideation, and it has 6 sub-steps to it. The first sub-step is to generate 30 different ideas. So, for example, if your problem is something to do with farming, like the example that we have here, the first example, if it's something to do about farming, then we don't want you to just go ahead with the first idea that you get. So, we want you to kind of sketch out different ideas and then try to decide which you think is the best. You can do that in 2 ways. So, in the first example, the student has sketched out manually and documented that process to understand why the final solution was chosen. In the second example, what the student has done is they've used Bing Create and a little bit of Viscom to generate images and look at a couple of conceptual ideas before they decide which is the best one. So that is what we want you to do. Again, you'll be given a couple of ChatGPT prompts that will help you generate these ideas quicker. And since there'll probably be 3 of you in a team, each of you could generate 10 different ideas, which can be shortlisted later. After this, you will have to evaluate these ideas and see which idea you think is the best. So, for example, if you if you're thinking of a couple of different ideas, but you think that just one of those ideas is feasible, then you'll have to go ahead with that. So again, you'll be given a Google Sheet, which will help you to evaluate these ideas and choose one out of the different ideas that you have come up with. The next step is one of the most interesting steps here, where you can experiment a lot, and that is to create mockups. So, what I mean by mockups is you could create small models out of maybe paper or uh, any rough material that you have lying around to kind of understand why you think a particular idea is the best. So, let me see if I have a couple of different mock-up ideas. Yeah. So here I'll be showing you a couple of different models or mock-ups or prototypes that you could be doing. Uh, so let's just look at this video here.
Sanjana ma'am, your voice is breaking, I think. I'm not sure if it's just for me or others also. Manita, is was it breaking up for you as well?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Sanjana ma'am, could you repeat the last part that you said?
Okay. I hope
Yeah.
it's not breaking right now.
Now it's audible. Yes.
Okay. So what I was saying is you'll have to generate a couple of different ideas here in this step, and you'll have to evaluate those ideas to choose the best one. And one of the ways you could do that is by sketching or by creating mock-ups or tiny 3D models that will help you decide which of the ideas is the best. So, uh, yes, so this example shows that sketches have been done to document the ideation process. Another way you can document it is by creating couple of mock-ups or prototypes. So I'll be showing you a couple of examples here. Mm. So you can see that a couple of sketches have been done here to show the ideation process. And the student has also made a small model, which kind of really helps us understand what they're thinking of. It need not be a very good quality model also. It just needs to be something that helps us understand what you're thinking. Let's see another example here. So you can see that a couple of sketches were done here uh, to show what the person was thinking, and then they've been able to make a model as well. So they've taken photos of a person wearing the mask, and that really helps us understand what they're thinking. So these are some examples of a couple of prototypes that you could do in this step. I hope my voice wasn't breaking again.
No, it's fine now, ma'am. We can hear you.
Okay, okay. So once you create a couple of sketches and mock-ups, it's time to gather feedback and decide which you think is the best possible idea. Once you narrow down on your idea, you can start refining it and finalizing those ideas. And the important outcome of this step is to document the process. So we really want you to show your earlier ideas and earlier sketches as well, and not just show the finished product, because we want to understand what you're really thinking and how you arrived at the final design. So document and put as many sketches and models as you can, so we'll understand what you're thinking. So that is the third step, which is ideation and validation. Hmm. Can we take a couple of questions?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. 1 second, please. Okay, some students are still asking about the previous questions like what is the outcome for the IH. I have responded on that on the chat. Please have a look at that. Some people are facing issues in copying the Canva template, ma'am. Can you show that once?
Okay. Let me just open that. Just give me a second.
Sure, I'll take other questions meanwhile.
Okay.
Can we click a video of ourselves and edit it and use Canva to edit it, or is it necessary to use Voice Maker? Yes, you can use your own voice also, or you can use Voice Maker. That's up to you. Should we put our picture in the video?
Uh, for what is this question regarding? I didn't really understand.
No, no, it's regarding the video. If they should put their picture in it, the 1 minute video.
You don't have to put your picture in it. In case, like I showed in the examples, if it's a product that you're holding in your hand, then that's something you can put, but you don't have to put your picture.
Okay, so next, which is the website for removing background? Ma'am, can
That is,
you put that on the group, the background website?
yes, that is remove.bg. I'll
Yes.
be putting it on the group as well.
Okay, some students are finding it difficult to understand how they need to implement the steps.
Okay.
So, they're asking for a sample of that.
Okay, so towards the end, I'll be showing you some videos, 1 minute videos that are completed, and we'll be seeing how the steps have concluded with that.
Also, please don't repeat your questions in the form. I'm reading each and every question. All your questions will be asked. Please don't repeat it in the form.
Okay, also regarding how to make a copy of the template, you'll see that there's an eye icon which says only viewing, which means that I won't be able to edit this template. So what I'll do is I go to File and click on Make a Copy. So this will open up another window. And yeah, so this is another copy that has been created. And now I'll be able to edit it. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, also, a lot of people are asking the same questions again. Please pay attention in the class and listen to the answers and doubts that we're clearing of others as well. Some people are asking, can we use apps that are not taught in class?
Yes, you can. I think we have said that a couple of
Many
times
times.
already.
Yes, they're still asking that, so I'm still asking you those questions. Yes, you can use
Yes.
your own voices. Please pay attention to the doubts we're clearing. Everybody's asking the same doubts. I've received 300 doubts, and out of that, all are same only. Is the prototype compulsory?
It's not compulsory. If you feel you're more comfortable with sketching, then you can sketch it out as well. But personally, I feel making a prototype is very nice because it will help you understand it better.
I have already sent day three form. Some students are still asking for it. I will resend it on the chat. Then, yes, the video limit has to be within the 1 minute duration. Please pay attention. We have answered these questions multiple times. Do we have to give proof that we have done it in Google Sheets or anywhere else? Not sure. Proof for what?
So So you'll be given a Google form to submit your final video. In that form, you'll have to be submitting each of your steps as well individually, and then you'll have to combine it to make a video and submit that also.
Please explain the 6 steps of hackathon. So that's what we are doing. Ma'am will give a revision of that towards the end. Mockups. Lot of people are asking about the mockups. Please do it. It will be helpful for you. Can we use other templates? No, you have to use the template given by us. Please don't worry about the basis of judgment of the video and the results. We will tell you about that on the event days. And you won't be having any class tomorrow. North Campus will have the event tomorrow and day after, that is Saturday and Sunday, 18th and 19th January. Chimney Hills campus will have it on Monday and Tuesday. So that will be in school itself. We won't, this is our last day of online training. Oh, okay. Some people are asking for all the apps which we learned in the session, including the links. Okay, we will share that. I can share that after the session. I will share it on the WhatsApp channel. Please follow the
Yes,
WhatsApp channel, those who haven't.
and we'll be sharing the links again on the day of the hackathon as well. So you don't have to worry.
Yes. Some students are asking about the transportation that you have to check with your school. That will be on school's end. Some people are still not able to access the Canva to copy the template. Don't worry about that. We will share it in another format. Right, Sanjana ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so if if that's a problem, don't worry about that. If we want to understand the prototype, should we make it with physically available material? No, everything will be digital.
Just the prototype or the mock-up, you can do it with physical, like, paper, pencils, whatever you have in hand. Like I showed you a few examples of the toothbrush and the mask that you can experiment physically, but the rest of the submission will be digital.
How are we supposed to get feedback from others?
Okay, so you'll be given a Google Sheet, which allows you to kind of evaluate your different ideas and see which is the best idea that you can move forward with. So this Google Sheet will be sharing with you on the day of the hackathon.
What are the other three slides in Canva?
So that each step has one slide. We have covered only three steps so far. So the other three steps will result in the next three slides.
Please stop repeating your questions, students. It's very difficult otherwise. All of you are repeating the questions, and please lower your hand. All the questions will be routed in the form only today. So please ask the questions in the form. Please don't repeat your questions. We are reading through each and every line item. I can still see students are asking the same. Sakit, please, I can see 10 times you have asked your question. Hackathon template, I told you, right, that we will be giving it to you. Don't worry about that if you're not able to access it. Those who have doubts with Canva, please spend some time exploring it. I will also be sharing the day two video and you can have a look at that also if you have any doubts. Karthik Kumar, please stop asking unnecessary questions. Stop spamming it, otherwise, I will need to remove you. Same thing for Sakit also. Yes, we will be there in the offline classes as well. Sanjana ma'am and I will be there
Yes.
in the offline session as well. So we will be helping you along with us. A lot of our DQ mentors will also be there. So they will also be there to help you. Theme will be announced on the day of the event. Do we get prizes for best Canva presentation?
Yes, so I'll be sharing a little bit about the judging criteria towards the end. So you'll understand on basis of which you'll be judged. But let's finish talking about the steps first.
Yes, one last question. Chimney Hill students, yes, your timings of the hackathon are slightly changed. Your school will inform you about that. It'll be 8:30 to 2:30, and then we will have an evening session like how we have now from 6:30 to 8:30. So that will be an online session since there are transportation issues. This is only for Chimney Hills. I repeat, this is only for Chimney Hills. For North Campus, we are having the regular 8:30 to 4:30 time. Okay, ma'am, I think we can continue.
Okay, thank you. Uh, so just looking at the ideation process, what we want you to do this time is look at something known as biomimicry. So what I mean by biomimicry is it's some designs which are inspired or which are mimicking nature. So I've shown you a couple of examples here. So if you look at these are all designs that have been inspired from honeycombs. So this is something known as biomimicry, and we want you to explore this with your designs as well. If you look at how nature is perfectly functioning right now, you could look at perhaps the symmetry of honeycombs or how honeycombs are very stable in nature geometrically. So those concepts have been used to create these bookshelves or these dresses which are inspired from those, and even buildings. This is just an example. You do not have to follow the honeycomb structure itself, but we want you to be inspired from nature and look at how you can create something using that. So, we will be sharing a couple of links to videos that you could look into as well. And I want all of you to look at one website after this session, and that is known as asknature.org. Okay, so let me just show you how it looks. So it's called as asknature.org. And this website, it actually documents some really innovative ideas which are inspired from nature. So after this session, I want all of you to go through this website once and see what you can learn from it. So let's just see if we can look at a few innovations. So it says there's some biomimicry ideas as well, which you all could explore. So let's just click on one and see. Um, so here they've actually created robots which are inspired by snails, and they have actually given very nice details about all of these, which I want all of you to explore once the session is over, so you'll have a good idea of what we want. So you can see here that they've taken the shape of a snail, the shell of the snail, and they've looked at how that could be converted to a robot. So this is a very clear and nice way to depict your ideas. And this is something I want all of you to explore in your hackathons as well. Uh, so this is a really nice resource, and I want all of you to check it out later. I'll probably put the link in the chat box as well. Um, so I want all of you to check this out later. Okay. So moving on to the fourth step, this is the first step that you'll be doing on the second day of your hackathon. So the first day you will be completing step one, that is problem identification. Step two, which is the insights. Step three, which is ideation. And the second day you'll be starting with step four, which is documentation and presentation. So what we want you to do here is the first sub step is to create an initial outline or design concept. So you would be creating a very neat outline of a sketch of the idea, and then you'll be processing that through Viscom that we learned earlier. So you will be able to generate a rendered image using it. So let's see. Yeah, so these examples here show some really nice Viscom rendered images. So a simple line sketch will be put into Viscom. And once you give directions, it will be able to create these nice renders for you. Um, yes, so this is another example of how the image can be created. So here the student has drawn a very nice outline of the design and the solution. And once it's processed through Viscom, you'll be seeing a very nice AI generated final image that you'll be putting in your Canva slides. Right. So once you figure out some details, once you get the final rendering of your product, you'll be looking at how you can detail out the product as well. So you can see here that uh, the student has labeled each part and kind of explained what it does. Even though it's minimal text and most of it is communicated through images, it's very easy to understand the different parts and how the design is working. So this is something that we want all of you to create as well. And this slide is the output of your fourth step, which is documentation and presentation. Another thing you would have noticed in these examples is there's always a catchy name. So this is known as Suri, and this, I guess, was known as Bharat Boosters. So you'll also be able to generate a catchy name for your design. Um, and again, you'll be getting some chat GPT prompts, which will help you generate a catchy name. And the final sub step here is to document it in Canva, like I've shown you here. So you basically, this entire step is to create a final image using Viscom and to document that using Canva. I hope that was clear. We could look at a few more questions maybe.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, so some people are asking the answers for day three form, and some of them are facing issues in uploading day two forms. Those who are facing issues, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Try and answer the questions and submit. If it's not happening, it's okay. We'll look into it. Um, can we use Google for pictures?
You can use Google, but if you feel you're not able to find any image that you're looking for, then there's always Bing Create, which we learnt about.
Why do we need to carry art materials, and how many people should bring the supplies mentioned for day one per team?
Um, I'm not really aware about what supplies you're asked to bring, but even if you have paper and something to draw with, that is also good enough.
Yeah. And can only one person do the video because no team is left?
Um, I'm not really sure about this, Priyanshi ma'am.
Okay, we'll
I'm
we'll check. Then some people are still asking if we can use Gamma PPTX. Shashank, Aditya, we have answered this question, right? You've asked this question at least 15 times. Please don't repeat your questions. If we have any doubt on the day of the hackathon, will the teachers help? Yes, we will all be there. Like I said, we are going to be around 10 mentors, more than 10 mentors will be there from DQ's side, along with Sanjana ma'am and me, and we will be helping you out for any doubts you may have on that day. In our school, they've informed us that this training will be on 20th and 21st as well. See, Chimney Hills students, 20th and 21st, your hackathon will happen till 2:30 p.m. This is the new timing. And then in the evening, 6:30 to 8:30, the online meeting will happen. There won't be any training, there'll be an online meetup because you'd have some transportation issues. So it is pertaining to that. I don't have a laptop of my own. You will require a laptop for this.
Maybe
Should
you can check with your school if you'll be able to use the school's laptop or
Yes,
computer.
please check about that because it depends on the school if they have a computer lab which you can use. Many people want to understand how to add audio to a video.
Okay, so I think we'll be sharing that recording soon. In case you have any doubts on the day of the hackathon as well, we'll be there to assist you, so don't worry so much.
Yes, you can carry your phones as well, but laptop will be preferred. How are we supposed to draw perfectly with the mouse? You can also sketch it like ma'am said.
Yes, you can sketch it on a piece of paper and you just need to take a photo and put it on Canva. That's it. You don't have
For
to draw on Canva itself.
for each subtopic, is it important that we have to use the AI tools that are written in the slide?
So these tools have been designed to help you the best for each of these sub steps. If you feel you are comfortable with something else, then that is also okay. But you could try these tools out first and see where that takes you.
Do we have different topics for different teams? Don't worry about the topics. All of that will be explained on the event days itself. Can we use more than 6 slides while keeping it under a minute?
Preferably, it's better to have 5 or 6 slides. If you want to have slightly more than that, say 7 or 8, then that's okay. But don't exceed that because then it will be very difficult to give attention to each of your slides in that 1 minute.
Ma'am, can we make a sketch on paper, take a pic on the phone and upload it into upload it into Viscom because it's hard to draw with the mouse.
Yes, you can. So, like we saw in Viscom, we had uploaded an image of a shoe. But instead of uploading an image that is already done, you can draw something, take a photo, and upload that.
How to put the sketch on Canva?
You just need to take, if it's a hand-drawn sketch, just take a photo, and you'll be able to upload it like any other image.
Please don't repeat your questions. Same students are asking the same question. I'm looking at each and every question. Please don't repeat. This is a request. How to do the promotion of the video? Don't worry about that. We will guide you about that tomorrow. Right now, the video is only not made, so don't worry about the promotion. We will help you with that on the day of the events. Do we have to mention anything about biomimicry in our video?
You don't have to particularly mention biomimicry, but biomimicry is a tool that we want you to experiment with and see if your idea can be inspired by nature. So I would recommend all of you to try it out.
Will we be able to access Canva on the day of the hackathon? So, those who are worried about not being able to copy the template, don't worry, we will share it in another format so that you are able to copy. And we will do that on the day of the event, don't worry. Can you tell us how to make a Canva video?
Yes, so that was, I think, kind of covered in yesterday's session. So if you don't understand even after seeing the recording, then that's fine. We'll be there to guide you on the day of the hackathon as well.
Yeah, and I will be sharing the day two recording shortly, so those who have doubts still can have a look at that. Yeah, I think that's all for now, ma'am. We can continue,
Okay.
take questions ahead.
Okay, thank you. So the fifth step is the video creation step that many of you seem to have a doubt in. So here what we'll be doing is creating a script and then making the final video on Canva. So again, there are 5 sub-steps here. The first one is to create a 1 minute script. So all of us have created a similar script yesterday using ChatGPT. So you'll be given a prompt for the day of the hackathon as well. And this will help you to create a 1 minute script. And you'll be using Voice Maker itself to generate the audio content. If you're comfortable recording your own voice, then that is also okay. You can use your own voice to record and use that as the audio for the Canva video as well. So the next step is to upload the audio that you have created into the Canva video. And once you sync the slides to the right narration, you'll be able to finalize the slides and add anything extra, and then you'll be able to create your video. So this is a very simple step. You just need to create a 1 minute script using ChatGPT prompts. You'll be able to either record your own voice or generate an audio using Voice Maker, and then you'll be adding that audio to the slides that you've already created. So I'll be showing you examples of two different videos here. Ma'am, can you please confirm if the audio of the video is there?
Sure. It's very faint.
Okay. I guess it's very faint for me also. Okay.
Oh,
I'll play it right now. If it's not audible, then we'll probably show it to you on the day of the hackathon as well. But pay attention to the slides also and not just the audio. So let's just go there. Yeah. So you can see here that instead of putting a lot of data, they've created these pie charts, which is making it very easy for us to understand. So this is something that you can also do. Um,